Matt, is it really our responsibility to welcome thousands of potentially unvetted refugees from Afghanistan? All day we've heard phrases like, we promised them. Well, who did? Did you?
There is so much to say about what Laura Ingraham just said. First and foremost, let's be clear. Republicans don't care about people in the Middle East. Period. Stop. They never have and they never will. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they are incredibly racist. And what Laura Ingraham said about the United States not making any promises to the people of Afghanistan is in a sense true, because the war has always been about making profits for giant corporations. They've never cared about human rights. They've never cared about the well-being of the people of Afghanistan. Ultimately, they just care about defense contractors making money. These Republicans have never cared about the lives of people in Afghanistan, and ultimately Laura Ingraham unfortunately represents a large portion of the country. When I was in the military, I personally witnessed some of my coworkers cheering on the deaths of random innocent people in the Middle East, and that truly is how horrifically racist these Republicans are. At the end of the day, many of them simply see the Middle East as a playing ground for the United States to go around dropping bombs, and it is where they enact extreme amounts of violence without repercussion or remorse, because ultimately people like Laura Ingraham do not view those people as human. American politicians have been using the people of Afghanistan like props for the past 2 decades. Even Democrats can't stop themselves from putting on racist displays like this to fear-monger about the situation in Afghanistan, to justify going in there and dropping bombs all over the place just so that defense contractors can make money. When it comes to war, there's always bipartisan support for the military-industrial complex. When the United States flies drones over a country and starts bombing random people, you get stories like this, where literal children are terrified to go out on sunny days because they're afraid that they or their family members might get hit by one of our bombs. We can hope that people like Joe Biden view the people of Afghanistan as human beings who actually have lives, thoughts, feelings, families, things that they care about, hopes and dreams. But unfortunately, it seems now that Joe Biden is being very slow in his approach towards letting refugees come to the United States. We do have a responsibility to bring refugees into the United States, because the Taliban's existence is the result of the United States supporting extreme reactionary forces during the Cold War. None of this would have happened had it not been for the United States involving itself in Afghanistan's business literally decades ago. This didn't just start in the 2000s. This started with the Ronald Reagan administration literally supporting the Mujahideen. United States foreign policy over the past 60 years has never been one of humanitarian concern. Whether it's under a Democrat president or a Republican president, ultimately it is and always will be about making profits for giant companies. Raytheon wants to sell bombs. Lockheed Martin wants to sell aircraft. That's it. That's the end of story. That is what the entire war in Afghanistan was about. What has happened now is we have decided to stop putting gasoline on a fire, and it is time for us to let people escape that fire if they want to, and for them to be able to come to the United States, or whatever country they feel the United States should be airlifting as many people as we possibly can out of there who want to leave. What happened right before this comment is also telling, because even as we are dealing with the fallout of a 20 years war in Afghanistan, Mike Pompeo can't help himself but think about the next war that the United States is trying to get involved with.
I hope this administration will do something to demonstrate, not just words, but something to demonstrate that we are prepared to do the right thing by the people of Taiwan. It will be really important to establish that deterrence model, especially after these enormous failures in Afghanistan.
As we speak, there's a bipartisan effort to stir up a Cold War with China, and we are ramping up our efforts in escalating tensions against China for no reason, simply because we do not like the fact that China is doing economic trade with the rest of the world and their economy is growing. We view their growing economy as a threat because ultimately that is all the United States cares about, making profits at the expense of the rest of the world. Just like in Afghanistan, they do not care about human rights. No conflict that the United States gets involved in is about human rights. It is and always will be about the only thing the United States really thinks is a human right, and that is the right to earn a profit. This is Ben Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with my content. You can also catch me on the Young Turks Twitch channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time with my show Galaxy Brain.